We knew that Jeremiah was special. We had great wide receivers at Ohio State. So I think when people saw Jeremiah, the next receiver to come to Ohio State, I'm like, well, this guy might be a little different.
He is one of the most rare talents I've seen at that age in a long time.
This guy has it all. He's a bigger guy, 6'3", but he runs like a scat back at times.
Once upon a time, before this specific 6'3", 215-pound complete on-field difference maker became widely known as the best receiver in the whole entire country, it would be the pain that this specific individual would experience one summer as a kid, which really made him turn the adversity into straight motivation. And because of that, he developed a certain type of work ethic that truly separated himself from everyone else his age, which in the long run paid off significantly. This is the Jeremiah Smith story.
Are we good?
3, 2.
November 9th, 2005, in Miami Gardens, Florida, Jeremiah Smith would actually be introduced to football at the age of 3 years old by his father, Chris. And as he got older, his love and drive for the game of football would continue to grow. Now, Jeremiah wasn't the only one in his family that would go on to make a name for himself on the football field, because his cousin, NFL quarterback Geno Smith, was a straight stud and 4-star recruit at Miramar High School in Florida before taking his talents to West Virginia, where his incredible play allowed him to be drafted with the 39th pick of the second round of the 2013 NFL Draft.
With the 39th pick in the 2013 NFL Draft, the New York Jets select Geno Smith.
And as Jeremiah witnessed seeing his older cousin getting drafted to be the Jets' new quarterback, it would ultimately inspire him to be just like him. But truthfully for Jeremiah, his youth football journey didn't start off so welcoming, because that same exact summer, after seeing his older cousin getting drafted, there at the age of just 7 years old, Smith would try out for the local football team, known as the Miami Gardens Vikings. But following the tryouts, the team's head coach would actually go on to make the decision to cut Jeremiah, as he specified to him that he just wasn't good enough to play on the team, which resulted in him walking to his dad's car with tears running down his face. Now at that moment, it just seemed as though that his football career was likely over before it even started.
I was 7 years old. I get there to the coach. He says, you're cut off the team. I didn't know what that was at first. I never knew kids could get cut off a team till that day. I was just a whole different type of person from that day forward. He just made a kid more hungry, that's all I can say.
His father would take it upon himself to help turn Jeremiah's whole approach and confidence towards the game of football into something positive, because from that day on, he would take Jeremiah to work out with some of the best trainers around South Florida. The two of them would also watch the football practices of the team he got cut from. So by the time Jeremiah showed up for tryouts in 2014, he was already a man amongst boys.
He would come to me on Saturdays, do a lot of sprints, and start doing a lot of strength work, crafting, working on his route runs. And then he would come to the hills.
Now those would be the exact same hills that would be the proving grounds in the extreme heat of South Florida. And at just the age of 11 years old, Smith would run 20 hills, which really started to set him apart from the rest of all the other kids around his age. Jeremiah would start leading every single rep and wouldn't ever show signs of giving up. Now, he would continue that momentum and discipline coming into high school, and by his sophomore season, while attending Chaminade Madonna College Preparatory School located in Hollywood, Florida, he quickly developed into one of the most dynamic receivers around. While standing at 6'3" and 215 pounds. That sophomore season, he recorded 31 receptions for 667 yards to go along with 7 touchdowns. The very next year, he made significant improvement, finishing the season with 58 catches for 1,073 yards and 20 touchdowns. His efforts were a tremendous help in his crew going on to experience winning a state championship against Clearwater Central Catholic, as he finished with 113 yards to go along with 2 touchdowns. Jeremiah didn't stop there. He even made his presence felt on the track during his junior season, as he winded up winning both the 110-meter hurdles and the 400-meter hurdles at the 2023 FHSAA 1A state championships. And by the time his senior season came around, he became the highest ranked receiver recruit in the modern recruiting era. He would finish his final high school football season with 88 catches for 1,376 yards and 19 touchdowns. That would all allow him to receive an invitation to the 2023 All-American Bowl, where he would take home MVP. Now, as the 5-star recruit had offers from all the top programs, including Texas, UGA, Alabama, Ohio State, and Oregon, on December 20th, 2023, he made the biggest decision of his life.
Next 3 or 4 years, I'm taking my time to be right.
Coming into his freshman season, he would become the first ever true freshman to win the Iron Buckeye Award, an award that recognizes ones that demonstrate exceptional work ethic, dedication, and leadership during the offseason. In his college debut against Akron, he simply went off, finishing the game with 6 receptions for 92 yards and 2 touchdowns in a win. And he would carry on that dominance throughout the rest of the season. Smith's determination and leadership quickly made him stand out on a gamely basis, and those same characteristics that he imposed would be a big help in his team making the college football playoffs. In the quarterfinals against Tennessee, Smith delivered another outstanding performance, hauling in 6 catches for 103 yards and 2 touchdowns. The very next game, against number 1 ranked Oregon, he simply had his way, finishing the game with 7 catches for 187 yards and 2 touchdowns. However, he did have an off night against Texas and Dallas, as he only finished the game with 1 catch with 3 yards. And although his team was able to get the win, it left many uncertain on if the freshman standout was truly ready for the big moment. But as Ohio State reached the 2025 National Championship game against Notre Dame, Smith would finish with a touchdown, along with the game-sealing catch that made him a first-time national champion. The physical dominance and steady threat Jeremiah has truly been sensational, has even had many comparing him to NFL legend Julio Jones. But what's been even more remarkable has been his quiet, level-headed approach towards the game as just a true freshman. And that's what's undoubtedly made him the winner that he is today.
Jeremiah, they called your number on the biggest play of the season. What was that moment like?
To make a play, just make a play for my teammates. God get all the glory, and I'm happy to be in this position right now.
And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Jeremiah Smith story.